Okay, so let's look at gas, on-chain governments, and DAOs. So gas, a payable fee to complete transactions on Ethereum, such as creating NFTs. So non-fungible tokens, a new token that wants to be created on the Ethereum blockchain, but the machines, the nodes, the miners, what incentive would they have to allow this creation, to process this transaction? Gas, ether. The user would buy ether or gas and use that to pay to the miner. That way then the value is in the ecosystem. It helps the ecosystem grow, and it keeps the chain valuable by creating a supply and demand for the token that Ethereum natively wants to use to help support its ecosystem. So rather than choosing another coin, another cryptocurrency, by keeping the value, the money, in the ecosystem, by creating a supply and demand for gas, then it makes the system more valuable overall. The supply and demand meaning there's a supply where it's been mined and created, and there's a demand, so people want gas, and then they give it to the miners, and they'll create more, and vice versa. So, gas is used to create new tokens on the Ethereum blockchain. But on-chain governance, however, the rules for how a blockchain handles changes. People vote to update, expand, or improve the blockchain. So it's governance. This is private governance. There's a difference between public and private governance. Private governance, like my house, my rules, my restaurant, my rules, no shirt, no service. On-chain governance, the rules that the blockchain itself has, that people follow, that handles disputes, handles changes, updates, improvements, expansions, new code that somebody wants to implement onto the blockchain itself. So how are we going to handle that? Voting system. And this is all sorts of governance questions. How do you handle it? First past the post, for example? Or nodes only? Miners only? How is governance handled? And different blockchains will have different rules for how they handle changes, how they handle governance, how they handle disputes. Okay. And DAOs, Decentralized Autonomous Organizations, are developers and shareholders who vote using a governance token on how a blockchain could change, while a smart contract does the work, so it is decentralized. So, decentralized autonomous organizations, they're basically like businesses that are run by a smart contract that do something. It executes a command, if this then that, if this happens then that happens. So the business model could be decentralized. So there's no point of attack or failure, and yet at the same time there are people behind that business. There are shareholders, for example. There are stakeholders. There's a CEO, for example, and beyond, CMO, CFO, and other investors behind the organization. But a smart contract code, open source code especially, does all the heavy lifting, does all the work for them, while these people manage the company, the shareholder relations, the marketing, the clients, and beyond. A smart contract does the work, and so therefore it's decentralized. No single point of attack or failure. And often than not, it works on the Ethereum blockchain, the Ethereum network, so it is secure by that network as opposed to building their own. The network effect. The more people that use Ethereum, for example, the stronger it gets. So their DAO is going to be on a strong network, the Ethereum blockchain, and it's going to work on that. And it's autonomous because it's a smart contract. It does all the work, and they just basically leave it. They program it. Again, a smart contract is reprogrammable. They give it its functions, tell it what to do, it does the action, does the stuff, and they leave it. And then the on-chain governance comes along, or private governance within the organization, to say, well, if we want to change this, change that, new rules, new procedures, they decide among themselves. How cool is that? How cool is that, language explorers? Let's keep exploring.